There it is on the lens, folks. Remnants of a rainy Friday night on this January 16th. Taking a look to appreciate our downtown skyline. And yeah, the traffic's still moving, but thankfully smoothly than perhaps what you would talk about when the weather would be more severe. And of course, we were helping you get ready for this Friday to start with our alert day forecasting and preparation. Right now, there's going to be much more to discuss because there's still much more to our Friday night. And with that, we welcome you into the Wave Now studio for tonight's live stream. I'm Jose Sosaya. It's going to be a couple hours where I'll take care of this part as you're joining this live stream, and after we wrap things up here at around 9:30, our meteorologist Ryan Hoke letting you know what the storm tracking team has been following. So as we get ready for any changes, looking at that impact specifically for interstate drivers, but also looking ahead to Saturday, Sunday, what that entails for all of our weekends coming up in just a matter of hours. And always appreciative of you joining us, whether that's on the Wave Now app on your smart TV devices or through the streams right here on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and X. Appreciate you all making the time on a night, too, where excitement is brimming, getting to that tip-top most point, especially for not just college football fans, Hoosier football fans. Learning today, this is Cream and Crimson Day for the state in celebration of IU's football team's success. We actually did see a lot of people, and this will let you know just how much we're getting ready to bring you the sights and sounds from down in Miami. A lot of folks already in the security line at the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport from earlier today, rocking their gear, heading to Miami for the CFP title game on Monday night. A reminder that our sports team, so that's Kendrick Haskins, our Dusty Baker, and our Sunrise anchor Shannon Kogan, all there to provide you that team coverage. It's going to be a pretty special day for Hoosier fans, so you won't want to miss that as we'll flesh all that out over the weekend, preparing, talking to coaches, players, and fans to bring you as close to that excitement, action, anticipation as possible. Now, at the same time, for everyone closer here in Wave Country and extending all the way up to Bloomington, we're actually going to take a quick stop across the river in New Albany because this hype for the Hoosier success is real enough because everybody wants perhaps a piece of the pie, wanting to feel that excitement. Our Wave News anchor, Brian Schlonsky, actually found that Hoosier hysteria is creating a budding building economic boom for some local businesses.
With the Indiana fight song serenading the store.
We've been playing it pretty often the past few weeks.
It's safe to say Courtney Byrne, owner of the Mercantile New Albany, can't wait for Monday night's national championship game.
Go Hoosiers, and we're so excited.
Aside from being a lifelong fan, IU's newfound football success has also scored a victory for Courtney's local small business during a post-holiday month that's historically a scary time for retail.
Oh my gosh, it's been amazing. It has just been such great energy, and just our sales are up substantially for January.
Most of the sales from a fan base ready to believe. Hoosier fans grabbing clothes, bracelets, gear, you name it. If it's Crimson and Cream, it's flying off the shelves, especially if it's made by a local craftsman.
It's been really fun sourcing the items and getting them in here.
Just across the street.
Oh, it's going down. It's going down. It's Hoosier Nation all the way right here.
Leslie McPhillips, a server at Floyd County Brewing Company, is getting ready to host a huge Monday night watch party in their enchanted forest.
Oh, yes. We have decorations. We have candy stripe table runners. We have balloons, football balloons. We have popcorn displays. We have it all.
Leslie has some of the decorations in her car, which is also decked out in IU gear. Oh, by the way, so is her house.
I did that in 22-degree weather last night.
And as you prepare for game day, don't forget your sweet treats either.
Oh my gosh, it's just been so exciting.
Sweet Stuff Bakery, filled with imaginative Indiana indulgences.
Some of the sayings, I win, Google me.
Simple, I win. Google me.
Owner Diane Christopher says she expects her hardworking staff to be celebrating a Hoosier win late into the night, prompting a big change for Tuesday morning, perhaps just as unlikely as the Hoosiers' historic run.
We're opening late on Tuesday. I can't remember a time we ever did that for anything.
Well, to add to Diane there, a lot of Hoosier fans might say there is a first time for everything, including a potential college football championship. Speaking of opening late on Tuesday, we've learned Lanesville Community Schools are going to be on a 2-hour delay for the Tuesday after the game, also understanding that it is coming back from the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. But the district had promised extra sleep for kids if they could raise a little under $2,000 to support Riley Children's Hospital. Well, they've already raised around $4,000, so they have earned that extra sleep for Tuesday morning. Now, thinking about sort of the positive imagery this will conjure for Hoosier fans and college football fans, the final point in this season in particular, and how things happen at the same time, depending on your geography, for the folks who are going to be enjoying that athletic atmosphere down in South Florida. Because here, the conversation over the winter weather, folks, I'm pretty sure, if you're at home, hopefully warm, watching in the live stream, it's sort of, better to do this and spend that time debriefing, relaxing away from this cold and the changes we already saw happening early Friday morning, the rain, snow, more of this rain chance coming in. So needless to say, Louisville Metro leaders, they're watching the forecast closely too. And despite a possibility of the light accumulation of snow, they've been preparing for more than that. It's part of what they say is you can't be too careful approach that they want to adopt now to keep roads clear of snow and ice. So in the last 2 days, and you've probably noticed this, maybe you haven't, but it's sort of out there on the city streets that you've been using over the last 48 hours. But crews have been spraying tens of thousands of gallons of brine on roads across the metro. It dries then into a light hazy coating that maybe you'll notice a bit of the streaking there. So far, crews say they've doused 900 miles worth of vehicle lanes with this. It's a big lesson they learned from the big winter storm that we all went through last year, and the city trying to then be more proactive in keeping roads clear. So the strategy we've seen in action is more brine more often.
It helps with the initial, when that first snow starts to fall. It doesn't adhere to the concrete and the pavement as much, and so we've seen big improvements there. We're doing more brining this year than we have had in the last 2 or 3 years at least.
And again, the strategy coming after the big freeze from last winter had some streets iced in for more than a week. The city hired a consultant who then told them they needed to invest more in these brining resources to be proactive. So they have bought 16 more tanks to deploy that brine in more places. In an update, as we also look ahead to so much that's happening to start the following week on Monday, people who live in the Clifton neighborhood, some will attest to saying it's been a nightmare of 12 months ever since the explosion at the former Givaudan plant. If you remember the deadly impact, because 2 workers were killed, homes nearby and some stores were also pretty badly damaged. After a long wait, these neighbors now know, as we've confirmed in our reporting, that the demolition of the site is starting on Monday. It's going to likely span weeks, but it seems there is an end in sight for them. Wave News reporter Fernando Garcia Franceschini caught up with some of these homeowners and neighbors, perhaps the ones so close to the site that they still feel the impact. They describe their thoughts as they're getting ready to see what is left of the plant finally come down.
More than a year ago, the Givaudan plant behind me exploded, killing 2 people and forever changing this part of the Clifton neighborhood. And now neighbors tell me knowing the site is finally coming down comes with a lot of intense feelings. Hillary Ford lives on Haldeman Avenue, right behind what used to be the Givaudan plant. She says issues with the company date back years.
2 years ago, we all woke up and there was food coloring all over our houses and our cars.
But still, she never thought an explosion like the one on November 12, 2024 would ever happen. Now, only the rubble remains of what used to be her longtime neighbor.
I can easily say it's been probably the hardest year of my life. I was out of my home for over 6 months. I have been fighting with insurance almost every day since it happened.
The explosion damaged her home and practically destroyed the house of one of her neighbors, Patrick Livers.
Ever since this happened, I mean, at least once a month, my garage is getting broken into.
Patrick says the past year has been both a dread and a hustle. He says knowing demolition work on the Givaudan plant will start next week gives him a sense of relief.
There's been a lot of this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and it's always delayed or pushed out, or that's not the case, or nobody really knows who's doing what. So yeah, it's great to think it's being gone.
But for Hillary, seeing crews clear out the rubble will only heighten the exhaustion she says she's already feeling.
I honestly see it being triggering for a lot of people. And for me, it's not necessarily a relief. To me, it almost feels like just one more way people are going to try and make what happened disappear.
According to the Clifton Community Council, the demolition work is expected to last about 40 days. Fernando Garcia, Francis Sheeny, Wave News.
And we appreciate our Fernando's reporting as well as the whole Wave News team. This is certainly going to be the kind of story we'll be there ready with cameras on to see that whatever that first bit of concrete or material is, that'll be demolished by those contractor crews out there. Quick shout out before we go to break here on Wave News Extra. Always appreciate when you're connecting with us on our live stream, and you can do that with the different channels that you're watching us on. So for example, Kim on Facebook, good evening to you as well, Kim. And we'll say again, the temperature could be colder. I know 41 degrees still on the side where you'd rather have those layers if you got to be outside, or thankfully with some nice heat in your air-conditioned environment wherever you may be. All right, folks, we've got more stories to share with you. It is going to be a condensed edition of our live stream for Wave News Extra, but don't worry, we'll still have some stuff we want to break down with you as we're here on the tail end of our Friday looking ahead to the weekend. So we'll have this set of commercials for some of you on the smart TV for the Wave Now app. For the streaming crowd, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. Welcome back, everyone, or if you're just joining us, appreciate you spending some time here on this Wave News Extra live stream for our Friday, January 16th. Again, winter weather likely going to be very top of our minds. And so what we like to do is, in this first part of this hour, so as long as we're on this live stream and you're joining us, I'm going to break down some of the bigger news stories of the day, there. And hope you join us at around 9:30. That's when meteorologist Ryan Hoke is going to really take the time to walk you and I through what to anticipate as we get into the late Friday night. A lot more to discuss when it comes to this winter weather weather with the cold sticking around Saturday and Sunday. It is still going to be much colder for our Monday and Tuesday. That's going to be the gap, or at least the precipitation. Ryan will explain. That won't be the thing that's most top of mind. And even the 10-day forecast, understanding there's more to consider for you, not this weekend, which we are, but the coming one as well. So hope you join us for that. And an update tonight, we've learned former Madison, Indiana Mayor Timothy Armstrong, well, he's agreed to plead guilty to 2 of the 11 charges he was facing. He was facing a trial set to start 10 days from now, but now he'll wait to be sentenced for pleading guilty to these 2 charges: attempted child exploitation and official misconduct charges. Our Wave troubleshooter Mark Stevens doing this reporting tonight, saying that this happened while Armstrong was a school resource officer, that he admitted he met with a 12-year-old boy and asked him about sexual acts as well as the boy's genitals. And forgive me, in the part heading into this report, the details also probably stunning as we're breaking this down. This is just what we were there with our cameras to listen and confirm in court. So just the heads up there. But this is all the evidence and the testimony brought into this case. And so prosecutors saying that this happened and that Armstrong told the boy it would be funny if he would send him a sexually explicit video, and this all happened on school grounds. So that was what the prosecutors presented. As part of the plea agreement, Armstrong is going to face 5 years on probation, registering as a sex offender. He asked the court to delay his trial while he was completing cancer treatment. The court, though, denied that request. And when it came to admitting guilt, Armstrong did speak up in the court to say this.
So you understand you do not have to plead guilty to any case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And why are you pleading guilty here today? Can you tell me?
Because I'm guilty.
So the special prosecutor says he dropped some of the charges based on what evidence he believed he could get a conviction on in court. The boy's father said, though, however, this was not justice, that he wants Armstrong to serve prison time. Armstrong, though, will be sentenced in March, whatever that ultimate sentence is. The boy's father saying his son was bullied after reporting Armstrong's behavior, and they had to change schools and even move out of Madison. A reminder, you can watch our full troubleshooter investigation that Mark and the team worked on very diligently, and that is there for you to check back in on wave3.com. More stories to share with you, and this has to do with, again, more of the ongoing debating, discussing, fine-tuning the business for Kentucky lawmakers in Frankfort. A proposed bill we're looking at, so this new one sort of being discussed and reported on, could help protect Kentuckians who are looking for a place to live, so the rental housing, but even after they had been filed, gone through an eviction filing and an eviction process. So the number of this bill is House Bill 338. It would address eviction expungement. The measure, filed by State Representative Susan Whitten of Louisville, would require an automatic sealing of someone's eviction filings if they were dismissed. But currently, right now, when a case is dismissed, it could still follow someone who's applying for a rental a rental contract lease for years, and it could show up on their background checks, and then that therefore it limits their housing options. The measure also does preserve property rights of landlords, making no changes to existing eviction procedures or the damage claims that property owners can file if they want to be remunerated or restored in that way. As for another bill going through the debate process in Frankfurt, it could place restrictions on certain performances, specifically drag shows. House Bill 360 could ban public performances, which would include drag brunches, story times, or Louisville Pride events. The bill would ban, quote, male or female impersonators who provide entertainment on publicly owned property or in a location where children are likely around. It does mention specifically, quote, sexually explicit performances that could be exposed to those under 18 years old. And as far as penalties for anyone who would violate it in this proposed bill, that the first 2 offenses would be misdemeanors, the third strike would be a felony. And so far, the bill has not been assigned, though, to a House committee. In a developing story and something we're working on to have ready for you in a full report tonight on Wave News at 11. We know as LMPD is looking for leads after this pretty ghastly drive-by shooting. It's a shooting that left a young man fighting for his life, and that's still the case for him tonight at U of L Hospital downtown, because at this point, police believe whoever shot Tyler Bright, that's his name, at a gas station in the Park Hill neighborhood last week did so from a moving car. Now, this afternoon, our news team spent time with some of Bright's mentors who agreed to talk to us after they'd come to visit him in his hospital room. They're sharing what they can update, try not to step over the toes or betray any privacy concerns or subject matter for his family, but they're also helping rally to raise money for what is surely going to be a lengthy medical recovery for Tyler Bright. One of them we met is a name you all might recognize in the world of Louisville sports. It's former sports anchor Fred Cowgill. He actually invited young Tyler to join him as a mentor for students at Jeffersonville High School's TV and radio station and the programming that they do there. Cowgill shared some of his time with our reporter Julie Richardson this afternoon, talking about meeting Bright's mom and family that they'd flown in from Michigan. That is where Tyler's from, and attesting to this budding sports reporter's fighting spirits. Here's part of what Fred Cowgill had to say.
Right now, I think for Tyler, his whole life has been turned upside down. Knowing all of this will help him. He's got a big fight ahead, but he's a fighter. I mean, I know that young man pretty well, and so does Mr. Callan, and I can tell you with all emphasis, this guy's going to pull through and be the best version of himself.
So right now there's just not a lot of info on, like you said, we have to wait a few days to know kind of what the path forward is.
In terms of a diagnosis, I mean, there are challenges, but I think they're treading lightly, because first of all, getting shot in the neck there's not a lot of room in there, and a lot of things can go wrong in a hurry. I'm thrilled that he lived through it, because, the fear of bleeding out or whatever. So this is going to be hard, but if his mom is any indication, they're both going to be just fine, one way or another.
And so I hope you join us tonight for Wave News at 11, as again, our Julie Richardson going to break down much more of her conversation with these two mentors who have been supporting Tyler Bright through his young career, and will likely now be a very arduous recovery, but one, it seems, where he'll have the full support of his family and the network of friends and mentors that he's built in his young career here in the Louisville Metro. What we're going to do, again, as I let you folks know, it's kind of a condensed live stream. And so this is the part where we'll take another brief pause to bring you two more stories, and they have to do with sort of changes for schools. One, very much school with deep ties to the Louisville community, to Wave Country, and another that's an interesting story for a school out in Indiana and the power of making things with your own hands. In this case, it's going to be some instruments we're going to show you. So hope you stay with us as we'll take another brief pause and be right back with the last part of tonight's Wave News Extra live stream. Always appreciative of you folks joining us on the live stream here in the Wave Now studio. And these next two stories very much in the vein of changes, hoping to leave a positive, lasting impact for two schools. We're going to start with the one here on the Louisville side. Another one will take us over to Indiana. And for the Atherton High School community, perhaps it's been the wait to see the final result of years of construction to give the students there and the faculty the resources and space they need to succeed. Wave News reporter Logan Perrone is there to show us what is new.
Atherton High School has more than 100 years of history here in Louisville, and for the first time in decades, it's getting a facelift with the Freshman Academy. With the ribbon cut, the start of something new.
The next generations of people, of students, of kids coming here to Atherton, they're going to be able to experience this, and it's going to be great.
The recently completed Freshman Academy at Atherton High added 10 new classrooms, some specialized for science and art, and a new amphitheater in the heart of the school. It also alleviates overcrowding at what was the most overcapacity school in JCPS.
Honestly, I was shocked. Everything is so much larger and just feels more breathable.
Finishing touches on the new building come at the same time as an old budget problem. Despite the deficit the district is facing with the general fund, new buildings and renovations come from the JCPS construction fund, which legally cannot be used to ease the deficit. District representatives say that fund is stable and being used for projects like this one across the district.
It takes your breath away.
Brick by brick, Atherton principal Dr. Stephanie Fleur has watched the progress of the new wing over the last 3 years. She says investing in the students' space makes a large impact in their learning.
This absolutely gives students a sense of pride. This gives students a sense of community, and this allows students to really feel connected to their learning environment.
And for those students, it's another tool they have to support their success.
It motivates you to work harder because it feels like there's people behind you supporting you.
Now, the Freshman Academy, it's not the last upgrade that Atherton is getting. There is construction in the back of the building with work being done for athletic facilities. Reporting at Atherton High School, Logan Perrone, Wave News.
All right, thanks to Logan for that check-in at Atherton. And in tonight's last story we want to share with you, I'm trying to make sure the sound is working on that. Okay. In a world where, you're tuning in to join us on the live stream and screens are all around us, there's a teacher in Indiana in the story that wanted to show his students the power of making instruments with their own hands. So it's not just making music, but with a handcrafted instrument, as it were. Reporter Amir Abbas shows us how the educator is igniting a deeper appreciation for music.
The instruments that are making this music were not purchased in a store. These instruments were built by students.
We've been building guitars. They're 3-string guitars, and it's really fun.
We are putting the whole thing together, and we're making it all by scratch.
The idea came from Memorial Park Middle School teacher, Mr. Reagan.
I was trying to find a way to draw the arts into what we're doing.
Mr. Reagan is an engineering teacher and was looking for a way to keep his students engaged.
The whole reason when kids get disengaged, they're disengaged because they don't know what's going on and they don't know why they need to know this.
But kids know music.
Like you just put your finger down.
My favorite thing about music is probably just the way it sounds.
Now they build those sounds, starting with raw materials.
We make the fretboard out of wood, and we just saw, and then we hammer in the frets.
It takes many weeks, but the results are dazzling. Guitars and violins, all built by middle school students.
We definitely get to interact more. We also get to build things and actually be like doing things and like creating something rather than just answering questions.
Mr. Reagan is a really cool teacher because he allows us to make and do things that we would not normally do in another class.
The experience has left this Fort Wayne Community Schools teacher emotional.
It's like music touches you inside. You can feel it, even if you can't hear the vibrations, the energy that comes from it. It is just so powerful.
A power now being passed to his students.
There's a lot of sadness in this world. if you can sit and listen to some music that brings you some joy, that is the best thing in the world. I love my music. These kids love their music, and to see them enjoy it really puts it over the top.
And that was Amir Abbas reporting right there. All right, folks, you see there at the top of the wave3.com homepage, we're talking this sort of alert day impact coverage, what could be some messiness as we're dealing with that rain having turned into snow. So not only that, we'll encourage you to always check in on the wave3.com homepage. The digital team, our storm tracking team, always updating this right here to be not just your home base. It's where you could find all the different kinds of stories and reporting and data we're working on. And, not to mention having great tools in your pockets at home, whether that's through the Wave Now, actually the Wave News app itself, or the Wave Weather app. Just to bear repeating that Ryan Hoke going to be here at the desk in a little under an hour. So around 9:30, hope you join us back here. Ryan's going to walk us step by step through what's actively going on to warrant all this alert day attention to our surrounding forecast and looking ahead to this coming weekend, into a holiday day for MLK Day on Monday. And then beyond that, what to anticipate over a system that the storm tracking team is following from out in the Northwest. So a lot to break down, but remember, when you have a team of pros like the storm tracking team, they make this very easy to understand and very relevant, so you know exactly what to prepare for. So hope you join us for that, and then even further dive on Wave News at 11. Always appreciate your time as well, folks, whether that's connecting with us on the Wave Now app or on our different multiple live streams. A reminder, you can connect with us on those. That's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, the comments, and reaching out for any stories that you want reporters to check in on. We're here to receive those phone calls and those emails. All right, I'm Jose Sosadia in the Wave Now studio. Again, make sure to join us. Ryan Hoke going to take over for the Wave Weather stream for Wave Weather Now at 9:30. Until then, we'll let you know and be here working. And so hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday night.